Typhoon Vamco remains a Category 1 in the Western Pacific at 15.3 degrees north, 116.0 degrees east as of 6 a.m. Philippine Standard Time this November the 13th. The storm weakened a bit overnight, but is now back up to winds of 90 miles per hour with a pressure of 975 millibars. It's back to what it was just a little bit ago, down to the millibar. Movement is west at 13 miles per hour, and this has now been downgraded to a Stage 4 on the CDPS scale, as it is not expected to get quite as strong as we initially anticipated in the South China Sea. Well, here we go on the CDPS. You can see again a Stage 4. Wind speed is moderate to significant. Storm size remains that way. Rainfall is significant to major. We can see over a foot of rain over there, over 350 millimeters, and overall threat to land is moderate from the storm. Stage 4 on the CDPS scale means extensive damage is possible for the storm, and you can see there again this is for Vietnam. So what are we looking at in terms of wind field? Well, you can see in nautical miles here, the northeastern quadrant 80 nautical miles, the southeastern quadrant 70 nautical miles, the northwestern quadrant 230 nautical miles, and the southwestern quadrant 60 nautical miles. Again, extensive damage is possible from the storm, and you can see by far the northwestern quadrant is the largest of them all. Well, here are the distances from different locations. From Quezon City, the storm is now 340 miles away. From Quai Nam, the storm is 462 miles away. The storm is 474 miles away from Toi Hoa. It's about 474 miles away from Quang Ngai as well, and 519 miles away from Da Nang. There are no watches or warnings in effect at this time that we can find. There may be some in Vietnam. Stay tuned to your local officials, as if there aren't any in effect now, rainfall warnings at least are likely to go into effect for some portions of Vietnam. Well, here we go with our satellite estimates. You can see there on satellite appearance the latest flare of convection. The storm isn't looking fantastic right now, but we could see some more organization in the future. RAM Multi-Platform has the storm at 80 miles an hour. NOAA's Multi-Platform and the Joint Typhoon Warning Center at a 85 mile per hour intensity. Force 13 running with 90, SATCON and AMSU at 100 to 110 miles per hour, and NOAA ADT and CIMSS ADT all the way up at 115 miles per hour. We're pretty confident in our 90 mile per hour estimate, with a margin of error of plus or minus 5 miles an hour. Well, here's our cone from earlier today. You can see this is from when it was slightly weaker just a few hours ago. This was about 5 hours ago at this point. And you can see here, again, we are expecting a 75 mile per hour landfall for areas in Vietnam there. And some significant rainfall is also possible. Speaking of rainfall, here's the rainfall graphic from the HWRF, and you can see right along the Vietnam coast there, that 8 to 16 contour being there. You can likely expect up to around 14 inches of rain if you're in Vietnam, with some local areas getting even higher than that. Here are sea surface temperatures as of 12 UTC, and you can see they've actually gone down since yesterday. You can see there at the sea surface now, we are dipping below the 26 degrees Celsius threshold for typhoons here in short order, which should mean that we are going to be on a terminal weakening trend soon with this storm. Chances of tropical storm force winds are relatively high at this point. Now 60 to 70% chances along the coast of Vietnam. You can see there as well now 5 to 10% chances of typhoon conditions along the coast of Vietnam according to this RAM graphic. Here's the intensity forecast again. Little strengthening is expected at this point, and terminal weakening is expected to begin in short order. You can also see there with the deep layer shear, that's going to start to go up soon. And sea surface temperatures are generally falling off from here as well as very mid-level relative humidity. So overall, everything's really going downhill for the storm in terms of current conditions. Here's satellite imagery taking a bigger deep dive. You can see there the storm looking decent. There's definitely still a decent spin to it, and you can see puffs of convection on the eastern side really starting to form up there. But you can see here that convection is not able to wrap all the way around the center. If it does, we could see short-term strengthening, but in the long term, the storm is expected to weaken in short order, and it will remain weakening up until landfall. Again, though, Force 13's last forecast cone still saying there's a possibility of a typhoon landfall. Stay safe and stay tuned for more updates over here. A tropical weather bulletin will be coming out here in a few hours.